says, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. And the greatest way to start is by having a team of the elite make you an elite. Whether you're an influencer, YouTuber, or an aspiring entrepreneur, the Street Grad Worldwide gives you global level service, lowest prices, and the greatest of value. If this is you, catch us on IG, ask us where the grad at, and we will change your life.
So my question to you was, just how different is it for a black person to a white person in South Africa, for women like yourselves? I mean, and I'm going to get to the next question, so stay tuned for that. But what is the difference? And you started with saying there's no much difference, so you can go on now. Now that our internet is a bit more stable.
Okay, so I don't think there's a difference between the two of the different cultures in South Africa. Yeah. I don't think there's a difference because, like, you get raised in your own way, but things like that is still going to happen. Okay, so I don't know. I really don't think there's a difference because in like being a white person, you also get told, okay, it's the way you dressed.
Yeah.
Okay, I was 8 years old. I was wearing a short and a t-shirt, okay? So I was 8 years old. You are a little girl. What do you know, okay? And I really don't think there's a difference at all. That's my opinion.
Sure. Now, I want to touch on the next one, which before I move, I just want to mention something. And we had a show last year with the current Miss SA campus, and I asked her, many people will be answering, why are you on the show? And she blatantly said this: I am qualified to speak about gender-based violence because I'm a woman in South Africa. I think that for me was the sad part of it. Not because she could have a great answer, but the fact that this is so normalized. Everyone is aware of this. Everyone knows that this is happening. The fear in our women's minds is ever present. So to you, man, who's watching, know that if someone comes to you and says, gender-based violence is an issue that we need to address right now, and you have the audacity to ask them, why are you saying this? This has not happened to you. Well, she's qualified to speak about it because she's a woman in South Africa. I want to go to my next question, Martinique, and I want to touch on something very important. And it relates to your growth as a person. From the age of 8 up until the age of 19, now I also released your age, sorry, but to the age where you are now, to the age where you are now, what do you think would you have done differently? Now, I know I might get attacked for this question, but I want to know. It's good to ask these tough questions, these so-called sensitive questions, but from a Martinique Burger point of view, the 8-year-old, moving on to the age of 19 right now, what would you have done differently in that time period?
I think I would have told my parents earlier.
Sure.
Okay, but the thing is, it happened on the age of 8. I remembered it on the age of 16. So the thing is, like, I also didn't know for 8 years. So I knew it happened, but like I explained earlier, it's not something that's stuck in your mind the whole time. Because I was 8 years old. Yeah. Okay. So, and I think well, if I have to change, the main thing that I would have changed is my faith in God, because I was mad, I was cross at God too, because how could he? Why did it happen to me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and I had to realize that I can't be mad at him. And I think that the main thing that I would change is to go into the whole healing process with more faith. And yeah, and I think that then it wouldn't have been necessary for me to see a psychologist.
Yeah.
If I went in full on faith. And so I think it wouldn't have been necessary then. But as I grew, um, I think my faith also grew.
Mm.
So my whole relationship with God also grew.
Yeah.
And that is very important to me. So I think that is what I would have changed, telling my parents earlier. But I think maybe if I realized or remember it earlier on, I would have told them. But okay, it took me 8 years. And I think I would have trusted more friends.
Yeah.
Because the thing with telling your friends, it's not something, it's not gossip, okay? So it's not something that happens to everybody, okay? So the thing is, like, okay, so I can tell my friends, but how are they going to react, okay? So, because my main thing when I tell somebody is I don't want them to see me differently, okay? Because I think that I don't want your pity. I really don't want your pity. Okay, so I'm that kind of person. So that's why I think, so the thing with the friends is that you are scared for their reaction, and how they are going to treat you after you told them.
Sure. That's so beautiful. And I'm gonna read you a comment from, I think it's Inasipo, one of my friends, who says, it is highly understandable that you did not talk about what happened to you at the age of 8 years because you were a child, and as a child we are often told about, you know, all those things, and she didn't complete her sentence. But yeah, it is just magnificent to hear someone telling a story like you are. And for me, it's the gap between the events and the you know, the time that you tell the story. And I wanna point out to something that's very important. I'm studying law, and to those of you that don't know,
Yeah.
if something happened to you 8 years ago and you're trying to tell someone about it, you literally have no chance. So
No.
it's absolutely magnificent to hear about these stories, and I hope many influential people are going to listen to this. But I want us to go to two last questions before I conclude with my segment, and these are very, very important questions. I want to first focus on women. Martinique Berger, you are a woman in South Africa. That's why I said you are qualified to speak about this, not only because of your experience, but also the fact that you are a woman in our country, where we are known as the rape capital of the world. We are known as the gender-based violence capital of the world, which comes in many different forms, as we have learned today. Now, I want to know your plea to women, your message to them. Please take it away and speak to them, not only with your head and your understanding of life, but your heart as well, based on your experience.
Okay. So I think as a woman, that if something like that happens to you, you must know it's not your fault.
Yeah.
Okay? Firstly, it's not your fault. Okay? And you must stand up for yourself, because, girl, nobody else is going to stand up for you.
Yeah.
You must do it yourself.
Yeah.
Okay? And know your self-worth. Okay? And put yourself first. And yeah, so I think that is the main things that I would tell them. But to love yourself.
Sure.
Every day. Love yourself. Know your self-worth. Don't talk to people or hang with people who disrespects you because you are a woman. So, and that happens a lot of times. So don't do that.
Wow.
And put yourself first. And you don't have to hang with people who disrespects you. And if that, like, yeah, so I think that's the main things.
No.
That I would tell them.
That's so powerful, and I hope you guys were listening. And it's so sad for me because I don't want to say much, but I know a lot of people who have been through similar to almost similar to the exact same thing that you've been through, but never spoke out. I think those words on itself, leave alone what you just said and what you just shared now, should be an inspiration for them all to step up and say, I want to take action. On the last aspect, which relates to men. 30 seconds, what is your message to men? Very quickly, I want you to put it as mildly but as strongly as possible. What is your message to men?
If you wanted to be treated with respect, you have to you have to treat the woman with respect. Okay? If she says no, it's no. No is no. And yeah, I think so. That's the main points that I would highlight.
Thank you so much, Martinique. I want to now speak. I want to say something that I wanted to say in the middle of the show. I'm going to cover 4 aspects. Please allow me the time to just speak. I want to start with friends. Friend, you are a friend to someone. You watching, you are a friend to someone. What Martinique just went through is catastrophic, and it can be something that leads to a detriment. She's standing here today because when she told her story, some of her friends supported her. Please believe her. It does not take a lot from you to hear and listen to someone, and then you can start to help them. Don't start by saying, I know what can help you before you listen to the full story. Don't ask many questions that will make her not want to talk to you. You are a friend because you are a friend to someone. She chose you as a friend. Be there for her. I ask you nicely. The next aspect, women. I want to talk to women right now. Firstly, thank you so much for your existence. I love you. Not only am I addressing your existence, which trembles with meaning, but I'm addressing you on behalf of men who really want what's best for you. I thank you, I love you, and I will make sure that I create a safe space for you, not only for you, but for your children, your grandchildren, your aunt, your mother, your grandmother, because this is the South Africa that we need. We need people to realize that these issues exist, even when you are 8 years old. We need men to realize that these issues exist, even when we are 8 years old. Talking about men. Men, if you are watching this, I want to speak to you. Critical, important, and pivotal is the fact that you need to have utmost respect to 2 concepts. 1, respect, and 2, dignity. A woman has the right to be respected and to be treated in a dignified manner. What you do and say to that woman can impact her for the rest of her life, like we have seen with Martinique. Please put a guard before your behavior, because your thoughts, your thinking patterns, your hands, and your speech organs, let alone your feet, can have a detrimental effect on someone, even fatal. So please do make sure that you understand those 2 concepts. It's absolutely of paramount importance. I want to touch on the last thing, the future. Ladies and gentlemen, all of you here are very young. We are the future of South Africa. I want us to go back and let people know that gender-based violence exists, number 1, and 2, that you want to encourage education in all facets of every single platform. If they tell you you're irritating, tell them I'm doing this for your daughter because it is absolutely important that I do this. If they tell you that you are stupid for doing so, tell them that I am going to save your grandmother. If they tell you that you are complacent and you are getting irritating, tell them that their mother might be going through something and they're not telling them because they are their child. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I ask of you, Take action. Do something before something does you. It does not take a lot from you to do something. A single repost with the right kind of values promoting that repost. A single speech to someone going through something traumatic can mean so much, like we have seen with Martinique. I plead with you to please take action against gender-based violence. You might just save a life. I thank you all for joining us. Martinique, I love you so much. I thank you for joining us, for sharing your story. It has been an absolutely incredible show. And for you, I say thank you. To all of you here watching, thank you for your comments. Thank you so much for your interaction. Thank you so much for sticking with us throughout the challenges. Thank you so much for being here, being able to talk with us. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Asang Swartboy. This is Seshweek with #YouForMe, where we talk about the sensitive issues, the fragile and raw topics, unfiltered. I thank you and goodbye to each and every one of you. I hope to see you all tomorrow, where we will be talking to another activist, Bitumelo Tahi. If you don't know her, Google her. We are going to tackle each and everything together. I thank you. Ke lebogile go menagane. Tango.
What makes Green Meadows so amazing is that not only do the staff have a relationship with our tenants, but the staff have a relationship with each other. We have the most amazing relationships in our works environment amongst all of us. So we are all friends. We are really here for each other.
We offer customer service that supports our tenants and make them feel homely.
We are able to, because we are such amazing work environments, we are able to offer that to our tenants. So we are able to create spaces where our tenants can come to speak to us about stuff. We are able to create spaces where our tenants can really live out their student life with us.